Hey guys, so today I thought I would cover a fun but kind of basic topic. If you're old here, then this might be something that you already know about, and if you're new here, this might be interesting for you. So this is all about what is up with people who sort of feel like they might look childlike in interview outfits, in date night outfits, and things like that. So I want to cover what's going on here and how to fix that if you want to fix it. So if you don't know what's going on, you don't know anything about these body types, I'll leave some links down below to, for you to learn more. And I also offer typing through my website, and I'll leave some links to that as well. So what's most likely happening if you struggle with looking childlike or like a child in these more formal settings is that you have a mixed bone structure type. So what is a mixed bone structure type? It is a bone structure type that usually has a short vertical line, so that means that you might either be petite, so you're literally small, or you look short or small, so you might have a big head, so that means that your body looks small relative to your head, and so of course, who else has a small body compared to their head or a big head? Babies. Okay, so this is the thing, is that you look smaller than you actually are if you have a big head, and that can give you a really cute childlike look. Okay, and it can make you look more youthful, and that is something that some people think is really great. Some people want a big head, some people want a small head. Okay, so this is like a neutral thing. Okay, it's just the proportions of your body. So that's sort of what happens. It makes you look smaller than you are. Okay, if you have a short vertical line, that means you have a bigger head, so you look smaller than you are, okay? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is your bone structure, if you're mixed, tends to be a bit more sharp. So in that sense, that sharpness, it doesn't look very womanly. It can look a bit more like teenager-ish, and that again can look very youthful. And again, I don't want to hear any complaining, the grass is always greener, okay? So this is the thing with the bone structure, though, is that youthfulness can be juxtaposed in a very disconnected way, where if you wear lines that are completely separate from you, disconnected from you, that can come off as kind of an immature type of a look, But if you know what you're doing, then you can look youthful and elegant and sophisticated all at the same time, if you wear your own lines and if you know what you're doing with your lines. So it doesn't mean that you always will end up looking childlike. It's just that you will look more youthful, more vibrant, more animated in your own lines. So let's kind of go over this situation and let me know if this sounds familiar. So you go to an interview and you try to look more grown up, right? And I've had a coworker like this, and she was a mixed type, and I think that body type is such a unique set of lines. I think it's so pretty, and she would always struggle with looking more childlike at interviews than almost any other time, and it's because she was wearing longer lines that made her vertical line look shorter. Okay, so if you wear something long, it's going to make you look shorter as a juxtaposition, so kind of like a long jacket, maybe pants that go all the way to the floor. Those are all things that are going to make you look shorter, make you look smaller. And, the other thing is these kind of plain, boring interview looks. That they don't have a lot of detailing on them. They are usually, the hair is pretty much very, very minimal in its style. So all of that can really, it can be paradoxical. It can make you look more childlike, and it can make you look older kind of at the same time. It's a very weird thing. So that's kind of the first thing, right, is this is sort of the effect that happens. And then next, on dates or more formal, formal wear, maybe for weddings, evenings out, things like that, where you might want to look less childlike, maybe more mature, more elegant or sophisticated or sexy or something like that. You might find that, again, you might look a bit more childlike, and that is usually because those looks, especially if you go for something glamorous, you are going to end up looking more childlike, because in this case, you are juxtaposing the angularity of your bone structure, okay? And angular bone structure can tend, with a short vertical line at the same time, looking short and petite with angular bone structure, can look very teenagerish, very youthful. And so when you juxtapose it, you bring that out. You know, it's kind of like, if you guys know anything about color theory, it's kind of like simultaneous contrast. It's the same thing. Like if you have warm skin and you wear a cool color, it's going to make your skin look more golden, right? So this is kind of the same idea. It's kind of like simultaneous contrast, but for lines. So what happens is that when you wear these really glamorous, womanly, sort of soft textures, lightweight fabrics, sparkles, all of this stuff, you know, it's going to make you look, it's going to bring out sort of the softness that you don't have, if that makes sense. You know, you don't have that, the Marilyn Monroe type of shape, right? You don't have the Marilyn Monroe type of bone structure. Even if you do have an hourglass, you still have more angles to your face. You still have more angles maybe to your shoulders, things like that. So it's not really the same thing. Just because you're hourglass, it doesn't mean that you can necessarily do those kinds of very glamorous looks. So what ends up happening is that, you know, you have the juxtaposition, and once again you look more childlike, maybe like you're playing dress up. And so that is another common thing, that if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know your own lines, you know, you don't know that you're mixed, then that's something that you can very often run into. You know, this and the interview looks are just a classic example of what mixed can go through when they are not aware of their own lines. Okay, so how do we take care of this and sort of look a bit more mature and more sort of connected with our look, connected with our outfit? So this is an interview outfit or a professional outfit in mixed lines. So when we're thinking about mixed lines, and of course this has been the same exact sort of model that I've used in all the sketches. I've just swapped the outfit, okay? So the things that you're thinking about are short lines. So that means things like cropped things like tapered things. You're thinking about fittedness, you're thinking about small geometrics, you're thinking about contrasting detailing, and you're thinking about short hair, tousled hair. You don't want moderate length, boring, just moderate length, sleek, boring, symmetrically parted, not tousled, nothing. You don't want hair like that that's like very, very, you know, what you would see recommended for an interview. That might look really boring on you. At least if you go for you can style your hair a bit more smooth, but in that case, at least go for a bob haircut, like a short haircut. That will look a bit more lightweight, a bit more, it won't drag you down as much. And for your makeup, go for an emphasis on the eyes and a neutral lip, and try to avoid sparkle. So just go for maybe a glossy lip, maybe like a moderate finish foundation. You know, don't go for too much, like don't go for overly matte, might be too heavy on you, but just an emphasis on the eye, maybe slightly smoky eye, neutral lip, moderate natural finish foundation, natural finish lip color, and that will be your makeup look. And for jewelry, try to avoid sparkles, try to avoid intricate jewelry. Just go for pretty simple, small geometric shapes for your jewelry. And for your bag, try to keep it small, even though I know for interviews, you know, you might want to bring more of a briefcase or a larger bag. And in that case, just do it. You know, if the rest of your look is in line with your own silhouette, with your own lines, then you can bring a bigger bag and it'll be okay. If you bring a bigger bag, go for a more structured bag. Don't go for a slouchy bag, but of course you're going to an interview, so you'll hopefully have a structured bag anyway. So yeah, so that's what you can do for interview, and that extends for everything. Those are your lines. So for a casual look, it would be the same ideas, you know, things that are short lines, animated, short hair, things like that. Now let's move on to the date night look. Okay, so for this one, I did draw something that is a bit more mature, maybe sophisticated, maybe a bit sexy, just because I am doing a video specifically for, you know, people who might have the complaint that they look childlike, right? So, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't do a more cute look, like maybe in light blues, maybe in pinks, and just look really adorable, really flirty, really girly, and your lines work so well with girly, cute looks, and that's something that's very intuitive with your lines, you know, the small ruffles and things like that. It's gonna look so cute on you, you definitely do that. I chose to draw this because we're talking about looking more mature, less childlike. So that is also an option for you as well if you have this kind of bone structure. So we're still talking about the same thing. You know, we're talking about animated shapes, smaller animated shapes. We're talking about higher necklines. We are talking about tousled hair, short hair, smoky eye, dainty small shoes, not chunky shoes. And we're basically talking about tapering, fittedness. It's all sort of the same ideas as with the interview look, except in this case we used the same lines, the same set of lines to build a different look. So you can think of your lines as, you know, maybe like paints or something, and then you would paint different pictures with the same paints, right? So it's the same way with this. You're using the same tool, the same set of lines to create different looks. So this is how you can sort of work with your lines and look sophisticated, chic, and at the same time mature and you know, like you are connected to your outfit and to your look, and not like you're wearing sort of maybe someone else's clothes. That can sort of happen if you stray too far away from your lines. Of course you can borrow from other types in an intentional way, but if you go too far away from your lines, you can have the effect of looking maybe a little bit more childlike, you know, and other types have their own things that they look like, you know, when they don't wear their own lines. You just tend to look more childlike if you don't wear your own lines. It's a very common thing. Alright, so that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave some comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know some video suggestions, video requests, questions, things like that. And if you are still confused about your body type, then I have some videos. I have a lot of videos on this channel where you can just watch a ton and try to figure out your type. I also offer typing through my website, so I'll leave a link down below to that. And there is exclusive content on Miriam Style Club. There will be a link to that as well. Leave me some comments and let me know if you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.